over and over again, making commercial platforms more usable. Call 866-224-5422. Toll free 866-224-5422. AMP2.tv, the first and only internet television network that's truly plugged in. 866-224-5422. That's AMP2.tv. Youthful Savings creates and delivers innovative financial education products through a virtuous approach in order to disrupt the cycle of poverty. We provide affordable college planning solutions through our Financial Freedom web application and program, youth financial education and entrepreneurship training through our My Own Business Challenge curriculum and program, and group youth programs that teach entrepreneurship and financial education. 10 cents of every dollar earned is reinvested into the communities saved through the Youth College Scholarships. For more information, please go to www.youthfulsavings.com. Email at info@youthfulsavings.com or call 646-504-7164. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to We Are the People with Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, who ask you to know what's happening with your student loan. Tracy and Jorge keep a deep look at student loans in this country and the industries that surround it. Every week, We Are the People will bring you new insight into the corporate welfare industry, such as bailouts, and they connect with student loans. The show will highlight on your constitutional rights and how the current system is built to infringe upon them. Join the conversation by visiting our website chat room at WeAreThePeople.tv. Or call the show at 888-565-1470 and let us hear from you. And now, let's tune in to Tracy and Jorge for this week's discussion.
If you falter in times of trouble, how small is your strength? Today is a day of remembrance, a day that we remember that our soldiers did not falter in times of trouble, that our soldiers died to keep America free and to keep war from our shores. They gave their lives so that you and I could spend time with our families and loved ones, so that we can enjoy picnics and barbecues and parades, so that we can play video games and watch football games, so that we can go shopping and we can make love without the fear of having bombs fall on our heads while we're doing these things. Men and women of different socioeconomic classes, of diverse religions, creeds, and colors have come together throughout our history to protect this great nation. They made the ultimate sacrifice to keep our country great. They put aside their differences and sacrificed their lives for the greater good. They saw a bigger picture, one that transcends prejudice, one that transcends personal gain, and one that transcends personal wants and even needs. As we honor our fallen soldiers today, I'd like you all to take a few minutes when you can, and at some point, consider, really consider how we as a people can truly honor that sacrifice. Consider that we can honor that sacrifice by seeing that bigger picture, by putting aside our differences. Consider that we are a great nation of diverse religions, creeds, and colors, and that our soldiers fought and died so that all people could enjoy the freedom of living their truth. Safe in the fact that this country, we are not only allowed to believe what we want, but we can express what we want as well. Consider that we can honor their sacrifice by seeking the greater good as they did, by choosing what we know to be right and true over personal gain. Consider, instead of watching TV, playing games, or shopping, to spend some time educating yourself on the issues that our country is facing right now, not only from your perspective, but from multiple perspectives as well. Consider the fact that our soldiers were overwhelmed, they were stressed, and they were afraid. But they fought on anyway, because after all, if you falter in times of trouble, how small is your strength? Their strength was not small. They fought for our freedom. They fought so we, who are the people, could be free, so we, who are the people, would have the right to vote, so that we, who are the people of many nations, of many creeds and colors, can live in a nation that allows us to be who we are without the fear of government retaliation. We can honor our fallen by voting in our elections, by educating ourselves on the issues, and by taking what we personally think, believe, and want out of the equation as we do so. We can honor them by looking at the bigger picture. Honor their sacrifice with your sacrifice, and then vote. I'm Tracy Marks, and you've joined We Are the People, and I'll be right back after these messages.
Youthful Savings creates and delivers innovative financial education products through a virtuous approach in order to disrupt the cycle of poverty. We provide affordable college planning solutions through our Financial Freedom web application and program, youth financial education and entrepreneurship training through our My Own Business Challenge curriculum and program, and group youth programs that teach entrepreneurship and financial education. 10 cents of every dollar earned is reinvested into the communities saved through the Youth College Scholarships. For more information, please go to www.youthfulsavings.com. Email at info@youthfulsavings.com or call 646-504-7164. CPA for the People provides CPA services and business consulting for innovative creators. Collaborative, personal, affordable. We specialize in tax consulting, business consulting, financial statement compilation, and personal finance. For more information, please go to www.cpaforthepeople.com or call at area code 630-244-7893. You're listening to We Are the People with social justice advocates Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, exposing the faults in our current-day society with industries that directly influence student loans. Join the conversation by calling into the studio at 888-565-1470 or join the chat room at WeAreThePeople.tv. Again, to call in, the number is 888-565-1470 and let us hear your voice. Now, back to our show.
Hi, I'm Tracy Marks, and today is Memorial Day 2015. It's Monday night, about 7 o'clock, and we're filming live here in Boca Raton at the WNN studio. That's 1470 on the AM radio dial for those of you watching on the internet, and for those of you listening on the radio, you can also be seen. I can also be seen on our website at WeAreThePeople.tv. So Jorge is out saving the world and working with Move On. And today I want to just take a break from most of the stuff and just tell a cute little story about Memorial Day. So Memorial Day marks the one day of each year that we all as Americans get together to honor our country's fallen soldiers. It's not a happy day necessarily, but we do celebrate with picnics and barbecues and lots of fun stuff. Coming from a military family, we do have our own little rituals that we go through. As most of you know, Memorial Day falls on the last Monday in May. Memorial Day became a federal holiday in 1971, and it's a topic of hot debate as to when it actually started. Interestingly, the origin of the holiday has been claimed by several different places in the United States. So the question is, was it Waterloo in New York in 1866? Or maybe it was Major General John Logan's May 30th, 1868 celebration that brought it in. No one really knows for sure, but different people try to make different points about it. But there's a story that's not as well known that I'd like to share with you today. The story isn't one that you ever learned in history class. It's one that you may have seen on Facebook. I actually have a shorter version of it on my page. If you subscribe to Upworthy.com, then you've definitely read it if you opened your email today. But I really liked this one, and I think it's very apropos for the time. So I'm just going to read my email. And it's one of the earlier, lesser-known stories involving our Memorial Day traditions. This one took place in Charleston, South Carolina in 1865. In the spring of 1865, the Civil War came to an end with the Confederacy's surrender. In total, there was somewhere between 618,000 and 850,000 men that died over the course of the 4 years of that war. The war was over, and with an almost exclusively black population, Charleston began the long process of picking up the pieces of a very torn city. Towards the end of the war, Washington Race Course was used as a prisoner of war camp for Union soldiers. More than 200 Union soldiers died while being held at that race course, most from disease and exposure. At the time, those men were all buried in a large mass grave. The bodies were buried behind the race course's grandstand. And so the men, women, and children of Charleston decided to do what they thought best and most respectful. They offered the bodies a proper burial. The celebration began with the building and painting of fences with the words "Martyrs of the Race Course." Yale professor and author David Blight did some of the most in-depth coverage on those April and May 1865 events. Blight has made an argument that this was actually the first Memorial Day. And actually, as the way I have it posted on my Facebook, it's posted as it is. But it's not really known whether or not this is the one that influenced the first official day or not. He describes the events like this. At 9 o'clock in the morning on May 1st, the procession to this special cemetery began as 3,000 black children marched around the race course, each with an armload full of roses, and singing Johnny Brown's Body. The children were followed by 300 black women representing the Patriotic Association, a group organized to distribute clothing and other goods to the freed people. The women carried baskets of flowers, wreaths, and crosses to the burial ground. The Mutual Aid Society, a benevolent association of black men, next marched in cadence around the track and into the cemetery, followed by large crowds of white and black citizens. This was their way of saying what the war meant to me and what America means to me. They were now freed men and women. And that's the end of David Blight's quote. Does it really matter who started Memorial Day? Maybe not. Blight has said, "I'm much more interested in the meaning that's behind the being conveyed in this incredible ritual than who was first." You can watch David Blight elaborate on this story. It was originally shown as a PBS video, The American Experience on Memorial Day. It aired December 17th in 2012. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, you can go to YouTube and type that in the search, and it should be fairly easy for you to find. The thing is, we spend a lot of time celebrating on Memorial Day. And we should. We're celebrating our freedom, but we are celebrating, and we've also got a loss. They died for our freedom. We're a very diverse country. We have lots of different cultures that are here, and our men and women of war fight for each and every one of us, not just the white ones and not just the green ones and not just the purple ones. It's for everybody. And I'd like you to consider these things as you celebrate today. I'd like you to think about them. And after a short break, I'll be right back to talk a little more.
CPA for the People provides CPA services and business consulting for innovative creators. Collaborative, personal, affordable. We specialize in tax consulting, business consulting, financial statement compilation, and personal finance. For more information, please go to www.cpaforthepeople.com or call at area code 630-244-7893. Youthful Savings creates and delivers innovative financial education products through a virtuous approach in order to disrupt the cycle of poverty. We provide affordable college planning solutions through our Financial Freedom web application and program, youth financial education and entrepreneurship training through our My Own Business Challenge curriculum and program, and group youth programs that teach entrepreneurship and financial education. 10 cents of every dollar earned is reinvested into the communities saved through the youth college scholarships. For more information, please go to www.youthfulsavings.com. Email at info@youthfulsavings.com or call 646-504-7164. You're listening to We Are the People with social justice advocates Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, exposing the faults in our current day society with industries that directly influence student loans. Join the conversation by calling into the studio at 888-565-1470 or join the chat room at wearethepeople.tv. Again, to call in, the number is 888-565-1470 and let us hear your voice. Now, back to our show.
Hello, I'm back. I've probably had more commercials today than I usually do, but it's just one of those things. I want to talk about the nonprofit a little bit before we go off the air tonight. You've heard me mention on occasion that I am going to be starting a nonprofit that is underway and that is in the process. You hear the commercials for Youthful Savings, and if you follow the show for any length of time, you may have met or watched Somya's videos and understand a little bit about what Youthful Savings is. I really, really like her concept, and I hope to incorporate that in. She basically finds out your child's passion and then teaches them how to make money at it. And she has interactive software and meetings once a week with parents and the child and so on and so forth. And she's quite an inspirational young lady. She's going to join me next week, and we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about some of our ideas and what we're going to do and what we're trying to do and how we're going to try to do that. So I hope you'll come back next week and join us. She'll talk a little bit about Youthful Savings, I'm hoping, and she's got a lot of different and interesting things going on. She's partnering with different people, and if we can get things together, I'm hoping that we will be able to partner with her as well as our Student Services Society, which is the name of our nonprofit that we're going to be starting. So the 501c3 is still pending, but we hope to have that back soon. We are working on different content for the websites, for the Twitter, and trying to get that all lined up. We are hoping for community engagement to be involved in this, and we're going to, it's kind of going to be something like a fill in the gaps type of thing for the Small and Business Administration, and then we're kind of following AARP. We're going to have memberships and offer services and discounts and that kind of thing with a pay it forward program as well. So everyone that is helped with us will in turn help someone else. So now last week I was talking about, one of the things I was talking about was that the students of 2015 are graduating with more debt than any of the students so far. Hopefully we're going to change that soon because, we don't want this continuing to 2016. It's only getting worse every year. So I had mentioned that there's a lot of protests going on all around the United States and in other countries and elsewhere about the student loan situation, about the cost of education, and it's not getting any mainstream media attention whatsoever. So I have a viewer that actually wrote in. He actually contacted me on my Facebook page, my personal one, and his name is Neil Golden. Neil, I met at a MoveOn.org function where it was an advocate training. So I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with him, but it was really great to find out that he's been watching the show. So Neil lives in the Keys here in Florida, and he watches the show via the internet. He's involved with Florida Keys Democrats, the Upper Keys Democrats, and he's a Democrat precinct committeeman. So he's very involved. What I remember about talking to him is, he's open to listening to other people's views. He's not one of those hardline people that's very fundamentalist and, it's just all about, my party. There's good people in all parties. There's bad people in all parties. Personally, I'd like to see the parties gone and they could run on platforms, be it Democrat, be it Republican or whatever. We are the people, and I don't think that we should be divided any more than we already are. That, again, is a personal opinion. But anyway, so I want to go ahead and tell you, I'm just going to read you what he wrote to me. Maybe. I am. So Neil Golden says, I was watching your show tonight and was reminded of an email I received from ATTN. Check out their Facebook page. So here it is, copied and pasted, last week's email. You mentioned the college graduating class of 2015 will be the most student loan indebted class ever. You'd think in light of this alarming statistic that policymakers would be scrambling to address the problem of but as ATTN reported in several different stories last week, the opposite is actually happening. The governor of Louisiana, for instance, just proposed a record-breaking $600 million cut to his state's higher education institution. And in Puerto Rico, also an American territory, the governor just proposed a $166 million cut to their university system, which catalyzed massive student protests, and very, very few media outlets even looked at it, much less reported it. So the general consensus is, okay, I'm not in college. I don't have student debt. Why? How does this affect me? And he goes on to list 3 big reasons why. Number 1, student loan debt decreases consumer spending. What this does is it hurts your business, okay? You need customers, okay? And thereby, it also reduces job creation, because if you're not growing because you have no customers to grow, then the job market is going to stagnate. Pretty much like it is right now, between not enough people with money to spend and the jobs being shipped overseas, we're in a tough spot here. Certain areas are doing better than others, but overall, the country's in pretty big trouble. Number 2, student debt depresses the housing market, which is a critical form of wealth accumulation for the next generation. Now, as I've mentioned before, the student loans are backed by the same money people that the housing market is backed by. So we've got a lot of people that have been misled with predatory lending practices, and this in turn has created a big problem with wealth accumulation because nobody has any credit anymore. Number 3, student debt stifles innovation. Data indicates that people with large debts are less likely to take risks, start a business, or pursue many public service careers, which generally are much lower paying jobs, due to fear of remaining in debt. So if you care about student debt's impact on the economy, vote for the politicians who have a plan to reduce that debt, as well as make college more affordable. So if you think these are some important points you can use in the future broadcast, these are points that I have used in other broadcasts, and I will use them again. So please remember, our soldiers died so that we could have the right to vote. Consider the things that we've spoke about today. Try to look at the bigger picture if at all possible. It's tough. It's really tough to do because when you're either living good, everything is fine, and you don't think about those things, or you're struggling and it's really, really hard to look at those things then. And that's what we have our support systems for. Whether it be your church, your bowling league, your synagogue, whatever it is, you need a support system. We need each other. We're all in this together. So, love your family today, enjoy your freedom, and hug a veteran if you have one. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
You have been listening to We Are the People with social advocates Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, who every week bring to the light the needs and changes in our current system. Tune in every Monday night at 7 p.m. on WeAreThePeople.tv and participate in the conversation in the chat room or call 888-565-1470. Tune in next Monday for more information and facts. And Tracy and Jorge remind you to stay aware of your surroundings and challenges at all times.